Hi, it's Cindy St. Cyr. Happy Valentine's Day. Has anybody told you how beautiful you are? I know that's kind of hokey sounding. I know it. But really, we don't hear that stuff enough, right? We don't. And we certainly don't tell ourselves that enough. And that's kind of where I was headed with the mirror work that we did last time. Because if you really gaze deeply within yourself and into your own eyes, you begin to see different parts of yourself that got left behind, and we've left parts of ourselves behind. We drop them like little pieces as we go through life. We through trauma, through shame, through betrayal of ourself, for sure, through fear. We abandon these little parts of ourselves, right, along the way. And it can start in infancy. It can start in utero, even, depending on what that environment is like that you were grown in. If it's one of rage and hostility, you begin to know that the world may not be a safe place even before you actually physically appear in the world. As we go through, when you're young, you come out shining for the most part, and most of us are shamed into dropping that shine, to dulling it, to hiding our treasures. We drop our jewels along the way. We drop the mystery of who we really are. And we're taught to think from here up, right? We're all brain, we're all doing, we're all about production, we're all about looking normal, we're all about having this, having that. And what has happened over the last couple of 100 years at least is that we've slowly been turned from a human being with a capital B into a human doing. We have become production machines and consumer machines. What that also does, and how that happened, was we're cut off from the truth and the mystery and the amazing wonderfulness of who we really are. That is lost. Some would say that it's because we're now a patriarchy rather than a matriarchy, and that is probably true. I think there's a lot to be said for that. But I think that it goes even beyond that, because it's easy to say that women have gotten the hit of that without, that we've lost our ability to express our feminine. But guys, you've been screwed too, because really, when you think about it, you've also been robbed of that intuitive creativity, that ability to really root into the earth. And we've all been robbed of joy. That deep down, unshakable joy. That only comes in an unshakable way, in a more divine, cosmic way, when you can root into yourself and know who you really are. So I think it's time to go on the magical, mystical tour. Isn't that clever? I'm resisting the urge to say that with a lisp, but I'm just going to move on. It really is a magical, mystical tour. I don't even know if I can say that twice. This is what it's about. This is what all of the mythology of every culture has been about. This is what Shakespeare is about. This is what all of the Plato, Socrates, as far as you can go back, since we've lost that heaven within us, which is really where heaven is anyway. Ever since we've lost that, there have been stories and stories about the journey back to that place. And it really is the journey back to ourselves. It really comes down to the journey back to God. And not God out there. And not God with a sledgehammer. And not God with a tally board. It's the journey back to love. It's the journey back to love. It's the human experience. And no matter where you are in your human experience, no matter what how many lives you've lived, no matter whether you're a master or a novice or somewhere in between, you're still living this for yourself. This is your personal story. So what do we do about that? How do we begin to actually participate in a conscious manner in regaining ourselves, going back and picking up those pieces that we've left along the way? I think the first step is to begin to find a place within us to be still. And I picked up the Tao Te Ching, which, I have a lot of books. If you told me I had to get rid of them all, I'd tell you, no, I read them all the time, which is mostly true. But sometimes I get led to one. And I was actually led to this last night. And to this page, actually. And this is kind of what I'm thinking of. If you've never meditated before, if you're having trouble with meditating, getting an image is a great way to start. And for me, I thought this was an awesome image. 30 spokes converge upon a single hub. It is on the hole in the center that the use of the cart hinges. And it goes from there. But to me, that felt like such a good image, that middle piece, right, of the hub. Just picturing yourself, even if it doesn't feel real, sitting in the center of a wheel. You may even want to draw a picture of a wheel or print out a picture of a wagon wheel. Breathe into that. And as you do, breathe yourself into that space. In order to find yourself, you need to give yourself the silence to do that. Because to really pick up those pieces, you need to move into the other facets and aspects of who you are, into other dimensions, really. I mean, you do. What we see in our physical world, your physical, even within yourself, your organs, I mean, that's nothing compared to all the space that's inside of you. And what we're doing by giving ourselves a little bit of silence, even if it's 5 minutes a day, to start. If you walk and give yourself that space. With each step, with each breath, bring yourself into that center of that hub, of that wheel. Bring yourself into the spaces between your cells. That is really where the mystery lies. So that's your exercise for this week. Continue to look at yourself in the mirror. You see stuff all the time that you maybe never saw before, without judgment. And especially today, give yourself a good loving gaze. You deserve it. I think you're worth it. I know I am too. And then find that place to have 5 minutes. The beginning journey is always started with silence. From there, you move into mystery. So if you want to get back to me, if you would like a guide along the journey, I mean, we're all walking each other home. There's no mistake about that. You can always get a hold of me and give me feedback, or if you have questions, at my Facebook page, Full Spectrum Healing with Cynthia Saint, S-A-I-N-T, Cyr, C-Y-R. I hope to hear from you, and I hope that you get some time to be silent and really treat yourself to something special today. Have a great day. Talk to you next week. Bye.